Hello, I'm John Kidder. Welcome to the Ashcroft 2018 Civic Election Candidates Q&A. I'm going to be interviewing all the candidates for mayor and council. Each candidate will get a total of 5 questions. All the questions are the same for the candidates, and they've all seen the questions beforehand just to make sure that we're even-handed. So thank you for listening in and look forward to the interviews. Hello, we're here with Deb Tuohey. Deb's a candidate for council in Ashcroft. Deb's lived in Ashcroft for 41 years, and her family has been gone back to the beginning of time in Ashcroft, I think. So she's very aware of the history and plugged into all of it. She's raised 4 kids here, 9 grandkids.
Yep.
Deb and her husband own the Ashcroft Bakery and Coffee Shop, have done for years. She worked for 20 years at Ashcroft Dental. Spent more than 20 years in the Chamber of Commerce, worked on the Rodeo Parade, the Wellness Festival, various committees around town. Recently been part of developing the official community plan, which we'll talk about a bit in the interview, and 7 years coordinating or part of the Community in Blooms committee. So Deb's been around the town for a while.
I have.
So Deb, it's got the same questions that we're asking all the candidates,
Yep.
and I sent them on to you beforehand. So let's just begin with the big one.
Sure.
Where do you, if you could try and paint a picture for us of what you think Ashcroft might look like in, let's say, 10 or 20 years, let your vision just roam and describe that to us if you can.
I have a bit of an idea because I've seen it change over the last 40 years, and I definitely would like to see it start building up again. I think maybe we've hit sort of the bottom, and we need to bring in some industry. We need to have more housing. We need to develop more in our downtown area for businesses. The hub is doing a great thing for Ashcroft. There's all kinds of wonderful things that are sort of in the works, but we need to develop downtown a little bit more so we have that downtown feeling, feeling of community. And so that's what I would like to see, is the empty lots filled up with storefronts and possibly apartments up above for people to live in. That sort of thing. I'd like to see a lot more young families. I know personally with my own families that they all want to come back. And I've seen that with a lot of them. And I think that's a good thing because they're now raising children and they see the benefits of a small town and the community helping raise their families. And so I'd like to see a lot more young families and things for them to do. Keep those kids busy. You have to do that, that's for sure.
Okay, so we're now coming up on an election, of course, so that's why you're here.
Yep.
So what do you think can be done to working towards that vision over the course of the next 4 years, the next term in council? What do you think we might be able to achieve in that time?
Well, I think a lot of it is listening to the people and being involved with the people. I like to be out in the community. Like you'll see me at the darndest places. I mean, it may be the thrift store one day, it might be a wine tasting the next day, or the Legion for dinner. But, and it's not that I'm out there trying to get votes, I'm just trying to be part of the community. And that's what I think the council needs to do, is bring in more people. Make them part of the community. Involve them a lot more than what they are right now. Don't keep everything a big secret, like find out what they want, listen to them, be involved with them, know your neighbor, know your people of your community. So I think that's what's important to me, is for them to feel like they're part of. So I think that's what I would like to see happen, and hopefully I can help do that with maybe building different committees. Maybe we need a rec committee so that we hear what the curling club wants, or what the soccer club wants, or softball. What we can do to work with them. Even the dog park. Like, I mean, that's another committee. Now they've okayed it, but there's nothing happening. So now we need to move on and get things happening. I've never been really in the limelight, but I'm a doer. So that's what I want to see happen, is things get done. Yeah.
So what do you see as the role for an individual councillor in getting these things done? I mean, on council and in the community, how do you see that work taking place?
Well, I think that if we get a good team that we can build together, and you have good communication amongst the other teammates, which is the other councillors and the mayor, And I think you sit down and you discuss it and figure out what's important. You know, doing something that is crazy and totally off the wall that isn't any benefit to the community isn't the way you want to go. You want to go so that you're all sitting down, listening to people, and work on what they want, and hopefully work as a team so that you're not working against each other, because that doesn't help. You need to be definitely a team, and good communication. That's a major thing. Communicating, yeah.
And how do you see Ashcroft playing in the region and with other communities? Is that part of the job, you think?
Oh yeah, I think that's a big thing. I mean, there's always been that Ashcroft, Cache Creek, Clinton thing. And maybe we'll see some changes in Cache Creek, and I think working together that way, financially, there's a benefit to that. We are both really, with Ashcroft and Cache Creek, we're really one community. Many people live there, they work here, or vice versa, you know, so we really are one. When we talk, you know, out of our area to people, you always say, well, where do you live? Well, you know where Cache Creek is, because everybody knows Cache Creek, right? Well, we're just down the road, right? Yeah. So, and I've seen that in Alberta with other small communities, where they've come together and, you know, they'll hold some type of a festival in one, and it's the two communities working together, and then in the other, it'll be in their community the next time. So I could see that working well. And even with equipment, like I say, we don't all need to have garbage trucks. We don't all need to have street sweepers. You know, let's work on that together.
Well, it sounds like you're anticipating my second last question. Sort of what practical and doable approaches do you think that you want to suggest to work in that direction? I know you mentioned in your bio that you were part of the official community plan, so you're familiar with that, you're familiar with the 5-year financial plan. Are there other things that weren't addressed in those plans that are important to you? You have personal initiatives?
I do have a few personal ones. One thing that personally, I don't think we have enough crosswalks. For instance, because I do live downtown as well. So I see by the library, between the library and Sam's, to me, there's a need for a crosswalk there. There's a need for a crosswalk over by the drugstore. Because, I mean, people cross the street and, I mean, it's a small town, everybody, you know, they stop, they watch. But to have a crosswalk, I think that's one big thing that I would like to see happen. I think we need some road repairs. I know those sort of things take money, but you know, we need some of our roads definitely repaired. Some of the other things, what else is it that gets a bee in my bonnet? I'm just trying to think here.
Well, let me give you
just some little things.
Yeah, so let me then just ask now. These have been fairly specific questions, but obviously give pretty general answers to them. But so now I'd like you to just address people and give a personal pitch. Why should people vote for Deb Tuohey for council, specifically and personally? Well,
I think Deb Tuohey has been in Ashcroft and knows Ashcroft, and obviously I've stayed here because I wanted to. I came first of all for 1 year. That was it. I was going to give it 1 year, and here I am 41 years later, and no intentions of going anywhere else. So I love my community, I love the spirit of it, I love meeting the people with my job, and I love passing on. I mean, I should have been selling real estate, because really, you know, when people come into the bakery, they go, oh, what is there here? And you know, and I just start spouting off all the good things about Ashcroft. You know, I try not to ever be negative. So that's one thing. You know, to be positive and communicate and just be an all-around good person, and I think I am. I hope I am. And people know me, and I think that's important, you know, that they feel comfortable and they can talk to me and yeah, just come up and say hi. Yeah, no airs about me.
Okay, well, we have 40 seconds left.
40 whole seconds.
Anything else you want to say?
Oh.
We can just...
I have no idea. I'm going to have to watch myself on TV and say hi to mom and dad and you know, all that sort of thing. And that's one other thing. I mean, the families are important. I'm very fortunate. I have a daughter here, grandsons here, my parents are here, my sister's here, so, you know, it's a good family community, and I think that's an important thing.
Well, thanks very much, Deb.
Thank you,
Thanks for
John.
the conversation. Thanks
Yep.
for running.
Yep,
And all the best to you and best of luck.
great, thanks, John.
Bye.